Hello, Colin Daniels. Thanks for tuning in. This is my video blog series called How to Make One of Them Records in Just 2 Days. And this is part 9. 9? Oh, it's fun though, isn't it? It's fun. Yeah, so when we last left our merry band of musicians making my record, Just Keep Goin, which, you know, it's no accident that I chose that title, obviously. So at the end of day 1, we actually finished an hour early because after Martin Newman had laid down his excellent guitar part for Hey Collin, I just went to Ian and I was like, dude, you know, all this like sitting around and like not doing anything and panicking and being unable to answer questions, like I'm done. I'm fried, man. And Ian was like, you know, working at this very high-tech digital soundboard, perfectly capturing all the sounds of all the many musicians that you've had in here today, has left me slightly fatigued also. And I was like, you know, I don't mean to be rude or anything, Ian, but you know, you might want to check your attitude, man. I mean, this is like the real deal. This is professional rock music. We're making a record here, you know. You might want to check that out. That's all I'm saying. You know, you're running a business here. And you better not charge me for this last hour that I'm not using. Which, to be serious, he did not. Which is one of many reasons why he is just a saint. Anyway, so, wrapped up an hour early. Went home, got a good night's sleep, ready to go 11 a.m. on Sunday for the rest of the recording, the singing, recording my voice singing, and mixing all 4 songs. So, you know, not a lot on the plate, except it's like a lot. But again, I was ice, man. I was like so cool, calm, and collected is not right word. It's not the right word. Anyway, so 11 a.m. we have 2 lovely, talented, wonderful, friendly, great people, friends of mine. Clara Kababian took the bus down from Boston. Clara was in the band Plumeray, which was founded by James and Martin Newman, who had been in the studio the day before. And she played violin in Plumeray for a while, electric violin. She left the band a little bit later. I should say in part 78, at the end of this, I will, I won't even be numbering the parts at that point. Like, what is the point of that? But I will let you know all the links and everything so you can find the other bands and other projects that all these amazing people are part of. So you can check them out if you have some free time and obviously you don't live in New York City. But I should say, you know, again, maintaining my trademark humility, that they did their best stuff on my record. I mean, their other stuff is really good. Like, don't get me wrong. Their other stuff, it's pretty awesome. I got the best stuff on my record. So, Claire is there to play violin. Julia is there to lend her beautiful singing voice as backup vocals on a couple tracks. So, one thing that was an open question was that I had not told Clara. I asked her to bring both her electric violin and her regular acoustic violin or classical violin. And I sort of intimated to her that by the time she got to the studio on Sunday morning, that I would have made some sort of decision about whether she should play electric or acoustic. And so we're standing there, and it's time for Clara to go in the studio and record, and she's got her electric violin in one case and her acoustic violin in another case, and she needs to open one of them so that she can play whichever one she withdraws from the case, and she looks at me and says, "Which one would you like me to play, Colin?" And again, I had one of those faux pothead moments I have where I was just sort of like, what do you think? But no, actually, I was not crystal clear, I would say, but we did have enough tracks laid down for Hey Collin. I'd started to listen to some of Ian's rough mixes, and I had a pretty good feel for it, and the song actually had changed a bit from my original concept of it. I knew that it had kind of become like a pop song almost, but it also had like a little bit of a country feel, like not total country rock, but just a little bit, and which I think mainly came in from Larry Oakes's lap steel guitar part, just the little sprinkling of that he generously donated. So I was just really feeling like we have this loud electric guitar. We have an acoustic guitar that's kind of pretty, but then we have, once you get into the second chorus and the bridge in the end, we have like some really loud, like kind of traditional hard rock guitar. And it just felt like it would be right for acoustic violin to sort of sit prettily on top of that. So I asked her to play acoustic violin, and she said, well, I have a bunch of ideas, but I'd like to know what you would like me to do. If you have, that information for me as the person you've asked. And I basically gave her this kind of look. Like that. And which she's a very nice person and very patient. She got a little irritated, just a little. Because I really wasn't saying anything. I was silent, and it was like one of those awkward moments where it's like it's clear who should talk, and that person knows they should talk, and yet they continue to not talk, and the seconds tick by waiting somebody to say something, to move things forward, and I really didn't have anything to say. And so I said pretty much the same thing I said to Martin the day before. I was like, just play through the whole song, play what you feel like is right. I'll guide you, if you need that at certain points, but just trust your instincts and go. And so once Clara realized that I just had no direction for her whatsoever and got over her, kind of like momentary hatred of me, she did a great job. And she actually played 2 separate violin tracks, which sometimes they are there at the same time. She played like a rhythm part, kind of like short, sort of stabbing notes with the bow, and then she had played like a prettier, flowy kind of part that you hear mostly between the first chorus and the second verse of Hey Collin. So she did that. She got back on the bus, went back to Boston. I thanked her. And then it was time for Julia to do her backup vocals. She did the really lovely voice that you hear in the bridge, the heart-wrenching, I think, voice that you hear in the bridge of The Door is Julia, and she also did backup vocals on the chorus of Home of Love. So she did a great job, got her done. At that point, Scott Holcomb was back. He thought he was done the day before, and before he left, I said, hey, could you come back tomorrow and do some more stuff? And he was like, sure, Colin. Thanks for telling me ahead of time, because, I'm just here for you, man. Whatever you need. I'm not a musician myself with stuff to do, and I don't live in New York City. Hello? No, but he was great. I'm making all that up just to be funny, or to try to be. So I asked Scott to do a lead acoustic part for Home of Love. Home of Love was actually the tracks that you hear, that's my voice and the acoustic rhythm guitar that I played, because I'm a guitar player too. Scott wasn't the only guitar player. I also played guitar. I mean, he played like a lot better than me, but we shouldn't be talking about better. It's not about better. That's the amazing thing about art, is it's not. I'm at 9 minutes. All right, so we'll pick it up in part 10. Double digits. That means it's awesome when you get to double digits. It's not a bad thing. That doesn't mean you've gone on too long. It means like it's awesome. So we'll pick it up with Scott on Sunday, and then we'll do my vocals, which were so easy for me, and the mixing in part 10, and then maybe part 11, 12, 13, I mean, by now you know how this, I'm sorry.